Hi, please don't adjust your headphones or audio settings. Ben68 recorded the intro after the interview. At a point when he'd all but lost his voice, he offers his apologies and hopes you enjoy the show.
In this episode, I was joined by Beulemann, who is one of the most engaged and approachable blockchain reading and translating wizards in the Upland Metaverse community since beginning his journey in early November 2021. Beulemann has been working away in code for many community projects for years, such as the UCC and the URL, and he has also gone on to build his own Layer 2 and community support platforms, BEbattle.net and myupland.info. We talked about that journey, of course, as well as discussing some of the contemporary Upland events that were announced since we last spoke on the Upland Down Under podcast the night prior. Beulemann also went through a couple of the many Upland community submitted questions that came through when I announced this interview. And as part of that, we gave away some epic prizes. And don't worry, if your question wasn't covered tonight, rest assured that he's going to follow up on all that in the MBA server. We only had a limited amount of time to chat today, as he was in between business meetings at work. In any event, I always have a fantastic time talking to Beulemann, and tonight was an excellent example of that, and I hope you enjoy our chat. After all, if like Beulemann, you're willing to block out the noise and keep your eyes on the chain, then you might also find yourself gaining incredibly valuable insights into the metaverse and beyond.
Warning, the information and opinions within are solely the views of the individuals involved, contains content not suitable for anyone.
Alrighty, thank you for joining us for another episode of the Metaverse and Beyond podcast series. Today, I'm very fortunate to be joined by the one and only Mr. Beulemann. Face reveal. How are we going this afternoon for you? Yes.
Yes. I'm fine. Yeah.
How you doing, mate? Yes, on a break between work meetings, so jumped on in for a quick chat.
Yeah, I hope it's a quick chat and not a 2-hour like yesterday.
Like last night, yes. We were kind of joking on that podcast too. Like I'd been trying to get you on this show for what did we work out? It was something like 6 or 8 months or something.
Yeah, I think
Since
it was
Christmas time, maybe.
Yeah. Before Christmas last year, we talked first about it, and then just postponed our meeting again and again.
Yes. All right. So we've got a fair bit to go through this evening or in this episode. As always happens, after we finish the Thursday night podcast, then we get announcements come in, always almost straight up. So there's a few extra Uplandy bits to touch on. Of course, we're going to dive into his history, how he got into Upland and all the rest of it. Maybe some personal information if he wants to go there, what his interests are outside of Upland. We'll have a sneaky peek into all of the stuff he's got going on with his account. And then Beulemann is very much a blockchain reading and translating wizard. I think I've put in the little scroller at the bottom there. So we'll have a look at some of the projects he's got going on. And thank you to everybody who took the shout out for questions for Beulemann. We've got a few of those. We'll go through those as well. And of course, some prizes to give away with that sort of stuff. All right. So if you're all right, mate, we'll just have a quick touch on what's going on with this new Upland stuff. Did you see any of this pop up? The Thrifty Trader earn an exclusive Genesis 2024 Explorer. These look pretty damn good.
Yeah, I think the idea is good, but I won't spend many UPIX to get my collection. Okay, I own one, so I need to buy many more to get the special one. But the price is another block explorer. So I'm not. I think I'm not going to participate because it will cost too much, and I don't get anything from it except another block explorer.
Yes, I had a bit of a sneak peek before to see how much of a carrot this was going to be for you. And yes, you have the Genesis 23 Trader Block Explorer, mint number 1. How'd you snag that? Was that just a lucky drop?
I don't see that it's mint number 1. I think it was traded for a property in Manhattan, if I'm right.
Oh, really?
So, I don't pay attention if it's mint number 1 or not.
All right. So yes, if you do want to get hold of this, you're going to have to drop some serious coin, or if you've been one of the traders who have been thinking that something like this might be coming up in the future, and you have been slowly building them up, good on you. 17 of them, I'd hate to think how much that's going to cost if you're going to try and start that from zero. And you get a fancy little badge as well. So yes, pretty cool looking. I don't even have a single one of them, so definitely not for me. But plenty of them there. All right, so you're not really into that. I'm not really into that, so we'll skip over for that one. And this next one, we kind of already got a sneak peek about all this stuff from Genesis Week, what was going on there. Discover the groundbreaking LaSalle Stadium Monument experience now live in Upland. This is Abdullah's stadium and the track hero stuff. I haven't played around with this myself yet. What do you think about this whole monument situation? Like how if you have a monument, you work with the team to create the experience and yada, yada, yada.
First, I don't own a monument. Too expensive. But the idea is good. I tried this track hero. For me, it was yesterday evening when this announcement came out, and I just sat in the living room and said, hey, or just try it. And it via mobile phone, it worked very well. It's like this, I don't think what the game was called. It's just some lane switching stuff. It's like the racing in Upland. You have to switch the lanes and avoid the obstacles. And maybe I was one of the first players because I immediately joined after the announcement popped up, and I think I saw Idan's Ready Player Me avatar just doing a practice run too. But yeah, I did run 2 minutes and something because I just bumped into all these obstacles and slided over bananas like in Mario Kart.
Mario Kart.
It's nice.
Yeah.
I think if the tournament situation will be enabled and you can pay a few uplicks to win some, and it's possible for them to avoid some sort of cheating or scripting or something like this to get an advantage, then I think it's a nice addition. And I'm happy to see we get something to do in Upland.
Yeah, a reason to go over to LaSalle as well, perhaps. Or you don't have to actually visit there, do you? It's just a layer 2 situation.
I just clicked the purple dot, like the city center plaza, which you can join from everywhere. And even I'm drifting in Washington. I was in the stadium in LaSalle. Maybe I think they said something that maybe you need to be present at the place where you want to go, but this is a few months ago. I don't think they will enable something like this at the beginning, because then there will be very few people who just travel to LaSalle to play this game, because even the 2K upix, for most players, 2K is not just peanuts or just one click to collect your rent. They need a bit more. So
yes,
maybe.
Indeed. Yeah, I had a go at the Gun Tech one on my phone this afternoon. That seemed to work pretty good, although I didn't see the fine print that it's a twin stick shooter. So you got to try and coordinate two different things, which is pretty, it's doable. It's just a bit clunky on a little phone. So it did seem to work. Seemed a bit of fun. So I will play around with it a bit more. But
yeah, I tried the Steam version. I just invested €3 of my Steam account. Discovered that I'm not allowed to use the mouse navigating through the menus of the game, because if I click with the mouse, he's expecting a controller, and I have no controller connected, so I can't go in any of the games. So I just need to navigate with the keyboard. But then I can use the mouse in the game. So it's they just pushed an update shortly after I tried, which then enabled the Upland connection. But I did any of the tournaments. I just drifted a bit around there, shooting some of the evil enemies, and put it back in my Steam library in the pile of shame with the hundreds of games there.
Oh no. Yeah, I might have to dust off my Xbox controller. I've got an old Xbox controller that I used to attach to my laptop for when I made my own bullet hell shooter. So that might actually, now that you've said that, it might be a bit more fun, because it's always easier with that rather than the old phone. Yeah. The old fat thumbs on the phone don't really seem to work very well.
Yeah, but you have the iPhone app is free of charge. Huh? You don't need to buy it from the store. Because the Steam game was only €2.99. $3.
Yeah.
not as
Yeah,
much.
the only weird thing is, oh, sorry, I cut you off.
No,
Yeah, I was going to say the only weird thing was that it took like 5 minutes or more to download the game. So I'm wondering how big the file is and how battery hungry it is. I haven't really played with it enough to know, but yeah, it seemed to take forever. Most other mobile games that, it's 20, 30 seconds and it just zaps in. So don't know.
It's maybe it's like Upland, which is then downloading all the stuff in the background when you're using it. That's or like all the stuff Microsoft is doing with showing you a lock on screen to get the user do something at his PC, and while he's typing username and password, Microsoft Windows is loading all the other stuff in the background.
Yes.
Maybe it's something the opposite there. Just say, okay, we download everything to the phone, then you can use it and don't use as much data volume as Upland uses if you're short on 3 GB.
Yes. Oh, we've got some questions coming up about that too. Maybe that's a good segue. I think we've covered enough background stuff for Upland, what's got going on there. How about yourself? I think most people would have seen you out and about here, there, and everywhere with some of the sites you do. You're pretty active in the generals. You get on various podcast shows and whatnot. What about who is Beulemann? As much as you want to share about your in real life situation, what do you got going on?
I'm nearly 40 years old from Germany, so my English is not so good, but getting better over all these podcasts we did together. I think Lily said, don't learn the bad English from the guys where you're at. But
Yes.
I'm in the information technology sector working, so reading English and writing English is not a problem, and speaking gets better and better over time, I think. 3 children, married. As I said, living in Germany. It's near Cologne. Some people maybe knew Cologne, Western Germany for the older ones. Every time since I can remember, I was attached to some sort of console or PC. First PC, I think I was 5 or 6 from my father with Ports of Calls was one of the first games where you have to navigate a ship in the harbor and don't touch the harbor, and then avoid icebergs, and that's not so bad. And I'm a gamer from the beginning. Organized LAN parties with up to 1,000 people. While I was, it was a nice time. And then the family came and all this get a bit in the background because the priorities changed. But it's okay to change the priorities for the family.
Absolutely.
Yes. I'm while working in the information technology after school, I just did the bachelor and the master beside the work. And then as COVID started to shut down everything in the world, I just rearranged a bit in my free time and get a year and a half as a salesperson for Tupperware. I think you know it in Australia.
Really?
Too.
Wow.
Yeah.
My mum
all
sold
online.
that back in the 70s.
It's all online. All these Tupperware meetings weren't in the kitchens, but all in WhatsApp and Telegram and all digital. And it was mine. It was a nice income, which then invested complete into Upland. When I discovered the ad in the Brave browser, like I think most of the people say, if you ask this question. This was, I think, November 2021.
Yes, very early in November 5th, I believe. Now, we're kind of jumping ahead there, but we're touching on it. Are you one of the people that you got the app and you immediately put the $5 or whatever it is to become an official Uplander, or did you grind it out as a visitor for a while?
I did invest $5. It was 2 times $50 without knowing anything about FSA and all this stuff. should have used with my knowings now, I would say, okay, it was the not so good start.
Yes. Yeah, but everyone's got this similar story, I think. So
yeah, because
can't
the
be too hard on
onboarding
yourself.
3 years ago was not present. You just download the app and
Absolutely.
then there you are. Okay, you buy your first property and do what you want. Huh?
Sink or swim, as they say.
Yeah.
Sink or swim.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things to go back and touch on there. Is there anything within the IT sector that you specialize in? Like, what's your main kind of focus in that
It was
industry?
the most time it was all this Microsoft products. So it was started with the clients. So the Windows, the first work Windows was Windows 2000, I think. The first clients we managed. And then I switched to the back end and the data center part, Active Directory and Co. Terminal services. Then and now with the master, I switched to the administrative part of our government institution supporting IT supporter.
Hence all the meetings.
Yes, all the meetings, all the plannings, all the bureaucracy. Even in Germany, no? We are the pros in doing everything straight, only with the bureaucracy around it.
Yes, absolutely. All right. You got any hints and tips for surviving a full day full of business meetings? What's your go-to survival tactics?
Coffee.
Yes.
Coffee and event buddy, where you can just call and say, "Oh, I need 5 minutes. Don't say anything. I just want to talk," and let everything out, and then it's okay. It's working. It's working the other side too. So my bureau colleague does the same thing and says, "Hey, you have 5 minutes. Okay, I'm listening. Just talk. If you want an answer, tell me."
Very good. All right. And you said you got into Upland via the Brave browser, which kind of hints that you have a crypto background, perhaps?
Yeah, I mined Bitcoin for my own at home with, I think it was a 5 gigabit miner from, don't know what it was. A small cube which you can just let run. Bitcoin was, I think it was around $60 when I started. Then it goes to $100. I said, "Wow, I need to sell everything." It nearly doubled. Should have kept.
Yes.
So
hindsight.
This is what my wife always tells: if you would have kept the dollars, we don't need to pay the debt for the house, because it would be already paid by all the Bitcoin. But then Dogecoin did 1 or 2 of the ICOs, but didn't get any warm with it, and said, "Okay, it's all this nice concept with nothing behind it, just to generate a shitcoin to be sold at an exchange and get the money in the pockets of the ones who thought about this coin." And so I didn't participate very much in there. After all, I think, okay, Upland is some sort of stuff of this too, because we invested money and we get something back, but it could be a bit more. But I think we will talk about eventually in the future, maybe
one day, sometimes. Yes, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So when you joined in November 2021, was the USD out system available then?
I don't. I don't know.
It might have just been out, because I remember it was one Halloween, so it probably wouldn't have been the first year, or maybe it was the first year. Maybe it was 2020. Because I won a position in the first beta USD out, and I gave it away because I didn't want nothing to do with it. So it might have been 2020. But anyhow, I guess the point I'm trying to raise in, when you came into Upland, was it okay, I've played around with crypto and now I'm going to look at this as a bit of a speculative investment kind of thing, or was it the the Web3 aspect? Was it Miles the Llama? What captured your imagination, got your attention?
As many people already said, it's the monopoly on blockchain. This was one of the factors I said, hey, okay, this looks interesting. I'm going to dive into it. And it was short after this Series A fundraise. I opened the events page from Upland, page 59. So it was short after they get the funding, and I think they started the Brave campaign again at this time. But I don't know if that was possible to sell for USD. In the official way to get USD out of the game. There are already the OTC trades.
Yes. It was a grey area there for a couple of years where lots of us did partake in that before it did get officially said that no, you can't play around with that sort of stuff. So, yes, absolutely. Do you still play around with crypto now? Are you a long-term hodler? Are you a dollar cost averager, or you're out?
No. The only crypto is the Sparklet I will receive once it is dropped. Maybe a few dust of Bitcoin, maybe 1,000, 2,000 Satoshis or something like this. So nothing important. Oh, and again, $20 in wax for some of the NFTs out there. So not as much money as
very good
Upland.
Well, how do you go with that? Like, speaking of bureaucracy and regulation and that sort of stuff, what's the crypto scene treated like in Germany?
It depends.
You took a big deep breath then, so
yeah. So normally you would say you buy a Bitcoin, you hold a Bitcoin for 1 year, then you can sell him and take the profits. You have I don't know what it's called. In Germany it's called
capital gains.
Yeah, it's for your yearly tax declaration. You need to put them in there. I'm not very firm. I'm not making money, so it's in the moment it's mostly the way in. And the way out, I just discussed it a few years ago with someone who said it's a bit difficult to determine if you are doing a business if you just take that out what you put in and keep the rest working. So if I say I put $1,000 into Bitcoin and I sell Bitcoin for $1,000, I'm at zero. But if I own then half a Bitcoin from trading, it could be okay. But it depends. It depends on the employee of the tax institution, if that's the same understanding, if you get someone who knows from what you are talking.
Sounds very similar to the Australian situation.
It's in many countries. I talked about some people. They asked me to get transaction histories and so on from my database for their tax declarations. Because they need something like, hey, I bought it then, I saw it then, and they were for X days in my account, and so there was a bit of exchange, and it's our Chancellor Angela Merkel for a few years ago said the internet is a new country for us, or the new world, and it's the Bureaucracy Act it's something
very far behind.
Yes. The government is about 10 years after the rest of the world. This is like we say in our company. So if there's something cool like AI and so stuff like now on the internet with ChatGPT and so, we are going to plan to get them in 5 or 6 years. Then they are 10-year old. They are good enough, and then the government can take a look at it. And
yes, absolutely,
everything developed around it with some regulations.
Well, maybe that's a good segue too. How has the expansion of AI, has that impacted you in your professional kind of situation?
Not yet. We got the order from the top to not use ChatGPT or something for our work, because if we put this information in the internet, the provider will use it for their own. So if I take some classified documents to get them shortened or something like this, I need to put this classified document in the internet, and then I lost my job. I lose my job. So there was a clear no-go to use ChatGPT, the Bing IE, and all this stuff, popping up everywhere. There will be an instance running in our own data center for such things with machine learning and co. There's no connection to the internet, but as I said, we need a few more years to develop it.
Yes. Yeah, the speed of it's incredible. I know, like, I use it a lot, as you would have heard me talk about in some of the shows I do. But even the stuff I do is a lot of, like you said, summarizing and that sort of stuff. But even with the children's names, I don't put their name in there. So there's, if I was doing a report about little junior Beulemann, well, I'd say Mr. B. You'd only be written within any of the data that goes into ChatGPT. You'd be known as Mr. B. And then when it spits it out on the back end, then I change it all to the names and stuff. Because you got to be pretty careful with that stuff, what you're sharing there.
Yeah, everything you put in the internet isn't deletable. It is there for every time.
Forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, well, let's have a bit of a dive in, a bit of a sneaky peek at what you've got going on as far as your account go. We've talked about a few different things there. Let's have a look at what you actually got going on. So, actually, we'll go here first. So, as I was getting parts of the thumbnail ready, I did click on your little block explorer here. What's going on here? Little mate soccer, he's got an ear piercing, kicking the footy. I did see on your X page, you're a bit of a soccer fan.
Yes,
football, I should say, before you throw a brick at me.
Bayer 04 Leverkusen. It's the mascot is a lion, and it's, I'm fan since I'm 10. Going to the stadium, the second living room. We say it because it's Saturdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays and Tuesdays
really?
and but not 4 days a week, but there's the normal national championship and then the international Europe leagues and all this stuff, and it's time consuming. And even if you don't do only the games at home, but just take a train and if I say I ride the train through the whole country, that's 5 or 6 hours. That's for you, it's going to the neighbor.
Yes.
So it's Germany. I think we have 1,000 kilometers from the top to the south. So it's small compared to USA or Australia. If you say you are crossing the country, we can do it in a few hours.
Yes.
And then if I say the last game was the national championship, Saturday morning, 6 a.m. in the train to the stadium, watch the game, drink beer in the night, back with the train, back at home at another morning, 6 a.m. And we all said, we're all around 40, that, we are getting too old for this. Without doing hotel stays or something, or take a plane to not sitting 6 hours in the train. But,
that's a lot of commitment. Yeah. Not just a fan, a super fan.
And I just then said, if when I get the director BE, I just said, I take the mascot, and they just delivered it. Now I think, it's maybe there could be some copyright problems.
Well, you got it in nice and early, so that's good.
Yeah. But so I'm happy to have him. His name is Brian the Lion. He's in the mascot and running around the field while playing and doing stuff with the fans and all this stuff.
Doing mascotty things.
Yes.
All right, we'll take a look at your account. So playing since November 5th, 2021. You're currently an executive, net worth 25 mil and change, 761 properties, almost 20 Spark, And this is a fairly good chart here. It's interesting to see that you have clearly made a commitment to get your mint net worth above your property's net worth. So you're making use of those under mint deals. Is that what's going on there?
Yeah. At the beginning, it was all the way around. I started in Bakersfield. My
Down
career.
there.
I registered on the 5th of November, and I just put the money in, so there's no long visitor time before. And then I say, hey, there are collections. California Ave. I just put some dollars in and buy them so high overpriced, and that's why it's change in the beginning. And then I just get committed to the game or the app or this Upland thing. I don't know. I wouldn't talk it's a real game or an app or an investment. It's no clear definition for me what Upland is. And then there are sometimes where I say, okay, no, I'm just dumping a bit more money in. That's all these bigger steps in the graph. But this don't show the FIFA legends. I bought for the World Cup or the World Cups, the men and the women. That's mostly burner for swaps. Nothing more at the moment, but there are a few dollars thinked there. But hey, I bought the Panini, and in Germany was from Panini, these stickers you could collect while all these events were. So it's just a digital way of what I did as I was a child. So it's not money in the trash bin, but these Panini stickers I could take from the box and take a look at it, and it's just digital stuff on some digital blockchain where I don't own the keys, so it's not real my stuff. I can use it now, but it's a bit what concerns me and what says okay. And as you can see, the last weeks it stopped. So it's I reached the maximum investment I wanted to put in Upland, and now
that's good.
I work with what is in, or what I get out and laying on PayPal and then getting back in for something.
So you got a plan and you're sticking with it.
Yeah, currently yes.
Lots of properties in LA. 373 properties. So more than half of your properties in LA.
There were many more in LA. I don't know why, with my knowings from now, I tried to create a hunting web in Los Angeles.
Wow.
So many of these properties are just, I won't say strategically placed, but just placed all over the town to get short ways to the next treasure. And many properties are in the Van Nuys neighborhood. You just take the neighborhood statistics of it's all around my racetrack there. So I just minted and bought under mint and or slide over mint to get all the properties around my racetrack. But nobody uses it.
Van Nuys. Nobody uses it. Yes. But you only got 4 properties in Berlin. What's that about?
I as every city, I just get there when it was opened. I bought a few properties, I sold them, and I just kept these 4 to get all this Alexanderplatz collection running, and one I think it's in the Europe Nomad collection. And I'm a bit restructuring my account, just selling some stuff, mostly in Los Angeles, to get this high number down, distributed a bit more around all the upland cities, and maybe sell some non-collection properties for maybe 70 or 80% markup, and then just invest in a limited or a exclusive with a 2 multiplayer, and then pay 150% for the property. So it will get optimize my earnings a bit and all the stuff. Oh yeah, the pile of shame, the FIFA legends.
Yes, you said you're not really interested in the mint numbers, but you got plenty of mint number ones and number twos there.
I didn't
Yes.
trade for them or just try to get them. These I bought ridiculous amounts of packages, and they were in. I don't care what mint numbers I have, or just try to get the first or something like this, because it's just a number. It's not for me. It's not so special like others tweet it, like the splitter mint. Yeah, it's mint number 100 of 200. It's just a number in the middle. What about the first mint? I understand that from the user generated assets that you say, okay, this is my first mint from this asset I created. So there I understand the value, but all this stuff Upland spills out. There's no emotional binding for me to say I need mint 1 or something. If I'm doing swaps, I do the high numbers first, because maybe I'm able to get better trades with better mint numbers if I need them. But if I just get maybe a basketball yard or what I just swapped in the last days, I just take mint number 2,900 and of shirts where I got 20 from. So it's a very expensive burner. If I just
it's what was, you said you went like kind of crazy buying them up. What did it just become like a mini game? Like, how many of these can I get? Were you trying to get like full sets, or what was the method behind the madness?
It was to get the collection complete. All these collections that are able to complete in the app, and then mostly of them I need to buy more packages and more packages, because the output of these packages was not what I would have needed to get them, and exchanged it. As every time something new hits Upland, the prices are so ridiculous crazy for some stuff. So people wanna have hundreds of dollars for a video memento with a watermark in it, and I said, no, I'm not going to pay for it. I sold some of the final passes, premium pass or VIP pass, or what these are called, for a good amount of dollars to get back. But all in all, it was in the red dollars. What FIFA is about.
Fair enough. So was that kind of an early lesson learned that you haven't repeated again, as far as all of these other sales? You do seem rather cautious in the other podcasts that we do, that when we talk there, that you don't seem to have that FOMO gene anymore. You got that out of your system?
Not 100% out of the system.
The
dragon is still alive and waiting to come out and push me back. But it was the 2 FIFA events and all the things that they announce, and all this will be so great and amazing, and wow, and all this X1 blah blah blah. Now I take it from a different perspective to it. It was a bit of FOMO. It was a bit of excitement to say, wow, in my childhood memories, and now it's in the digital world where mostly of my life is happening from the normal job. But I'm very disappointed about these 2 FIFA events, and I just hoped maybe when they launched, I think it was Porto. FC Porto was a single team they started, but now they just pushed it back. As a fan of my local soccer team, I hoped to get maybe some of this NFTs when they will come out. But hey, I don't know when the German leagues may arrive in Upland.
Yeah,
Maybe there is
that
something
kind of
cooking.
hinted
Maybe Dirk is in contact with some of the greater guys. I don't know. He's there's surprises from Upland which are not only bad, but the bad ones you hear the most, like changes to gameplay
of course,
or something
that's
like this. But there
human nature.
there are good things, and maybe soon in the future, eventually. And here's the next shot. We will get some German leagues too.
Yeah, I mean that FC Porto, and I think also too the Brazilian stock car racing series that hinted at so much potential as far as fan experiences, doing stuff with like the actual sports people, events, this, that, and the other thing. But we really haven't seen that be followed up on with any focus, enthusiasm. I really wonder what that roadblock is with all of that. They always start out sounding so good, but then,
it was this Luisa Possi, or I don't know how it's called. This musician where they said if you own this or that, you get this and that. And I think at the FIFA Women's World Cup, you get vouchers for the online store for merchandise if you position somewhere in the leaderboard. And I'm hoping there will be a bit more connection, but at the moment, it's the only connection to the real world is from the community, mostly from the community driven. Like we had it yesterday, the Ninjava from the Hyde Park Ninjas, or the Metaverse, or there are some who said, hey, if you buy this World Cup poster from my store for $35, I will send you a printed out one to decorate your home or something like this. But it's all community driven, and this is a bit concerning to don't push it further from the Upland team. I'm okay if they say we want to provide a platform for all these activities, but in my opinion, they are only allowed to step back and say we are the infrastructure provider if there's something on it, and not just say, hey, here is your telephone cable all around, you have to do for your same, but we hold the telephone cable on both ends. It's possible if it's an established economy and they say, okay, now we are going a step back and taking away maybe the creation of block explorers and leave it to the community or something like this. But there need to be an established environment. I think there are thoughts or concepts or something like this in the office of Upland, because they are not idiots. I don't think they are not just here to take the money out of our pockets, it seems, with all these USD sales, but as we always said, they need to keep the lights in the office on. So no dollars from the players, no payment for the employees, no employees, no service, no players, and it's gone. Like this house party.
Yes. Absolutely. All right. I am just a bit aware of the time because I know you do have to get out for some more business meetings soon. So we'll move on to some of the projects that you've got going on. Like I said at the start of the show, many people would know you as a blockchain reading and translating whiz. You are able to translate some of the blockchain data for dummies like myself. How did you get interested in that side of things? And maybe you can give us a bit more in depth about what you've got going on.
I think all my the blockchain career in Upland for me, I think started with the FIFA World Cup sales. So I bought the pack, then I waited, and they don't show up in the app. So I just need to check. They said, oh, it's blockchain based. So I started digging there and just detecting, okay, these are this and this transactions. Okay, so copy paste Excel sheet. And next one. And I said, hey, you're an IT guy. Why do it manually? So I just started experimenting with all this blockchain stuff. I already knew from Bitcoin because I had an own node running while I was mining the first Bitcoins. So I said, hey, this must be for EOS too. But it's harder because the community around EOS is not so big as for Bitcoin. So you have less information. So I just need to say, okay, now I'm taking some books or some web pages, and I just started digging. And then I said, okay, I need some sort of database to put all this information in, and this database is restructured. I think every 3 months I say, okay, and I need to work on it because it's not working anymore as I intended for it to be. Because I'm not a software developer, so maybe there are some. If a software developer will take a look under the hood or the back end of my stuff, I think it will say, "Oh, what are you doing?" But
Yes.
I'm optimizing my stuff, and so I just said, okay. So and then I said, okay, maybe I can do some sort of give back to the community, because I'm always said they are giving some things to me. So I said, okay, so maybe I can give something back. And this was then the birth of the myupland. We will talk later about what's behind all this project. And yeah, so I digged and I built and I digged deeper and I rebuilt everything and digged. So it's every time the circle of death for the programmers. The bit of programmer's knowledge in me.
Absolutely. And now, my Upland Info isn't the only project you've got. You've also got the BE Battle.
Yeah.
What's that one all about?
A BE Battle. It was the first idea was when everyone in the general chat complained about what should I do with my Block Explorer, because it is just some sort of decoration. You can only use one while drifting around. Most people have them disabled to get better experience in the app, so nobody uses Block Explorers except for trading. So I said, hey, maybe I can do something. Then they announced this minigame challenge last year. So I said, hey, okay, maybe I can do something like, I think it was Shakes and Fidget. That was this game to two parties, one of each side, and you say, okay, attack at top, attack middle, attack bottom. The other side said, okay, defend high, mid, and low, and if matched, nothing happens. If you hit the other one, you get points. And so I said, hey, maybe I can do something with this Block Explorers too. So I developed this little game, not a graphical great experience. It's more like a text game. So it's a heavy text based. Stats and all this stuff. Maybe I can just log in and share my screen. Too many browsers open.
I'll jump out.
Where are we?
Yes, I know all about that from my game development days. Coders are not usually the best artists. If you're a coder who's a great artist, that's quite the skill to have.
So then we will take. Oh, where's the window? This
there we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm going to zoom in a bit for all this. Yeah. We said it. You can register and log in. Go to the dashboard, and it's it's a bit optimized for mobile phones, because many people use mobile phones for all this Upland stuff and not so browser based like so there's much free space, white spaces if you use it in a browser, because all this white area is not displayed on the mobile, so it's the information's on the left side. And you just sync the game with your account after entering the third-party code, like we know from the most apps. Let's open the page.
Yep.
It is loading. It's now trying to sync with Upland over the APIs. And there you go. It just took us every time. Then you get a list of all your Block Explorers. And while developing this, I learned if you try to sell a block explorer, you lose the ownership on it. If you put it on a store, even if it's your own store, you transfer your NFT to Upland. So if
Into
you
a
try to
scroll.
sell, you get it isn't anymore under your assets. So this was first the first feedback I got from users. I'm the owner of hundreds of block explorers, but you are only 4. And I said, oh no, what did I wrong in the programming? And then just digged another round, and then I just discovered, okay, with all your block explorers for sale, so they aren't your NFTs at the moment, so they aren't displayed here. And then if you have a block explorer, you can just say start a fight, put in the upix you want to Vega with your. It's a 1 versus 1 fight. And then you can select if you want a normal fight or with boosters. They're currently under development, so you can just say, okay, I want an equal fight because everyone is using strength boosters or something like this. Or you can say without leveling, the block explorers level up if you're doing fights. You level faster up if you win fights, but you also level up if you lose fights, so you get experience and levels. Then you can select a bonus and 10% on strange or 10% on vitality to just give it a bit of variation. And then you select an attack sequence and a defense sequence. And this bonus is based on feedback from the first users, well, mostly the German community was acquired to test these things.
Nice.
But they said, hey, we are doing battles and battles and battles, and it's every time a draw. Because if you just do this, all attacks in the mid and all defense in the mid, and the other side does the same, the fight will not end unless your energy is at 0. So you lose energy if you're doing the rounds, but then you get a draw if both are exhausted. And so I said, okay, maybe we can do something on strange and vitality, so you get a bit bonus if you successfully attack, or you get a bit bonus if you get successfully attacked, that your life doesn't get so fast unended. Now, after you do this, you just say, okay, this is the setup I want to go. Then this thing you have to go to Upland back and accept this escrow or this tournament join within 10 minutes and around 3 minutes after your confirmation. It's a bit faster because the join is possible before the 3 minutes are taken for the confirmation on the blockchain. And then on the other side, you just can take a look. I don't think there are currently battles open from someone. Where is it? Join a fight.
So is this system you can set it up? You don't have to be a live participant. Like if I wanted to set up a battle, I could set it up tonight and I could check it again tomorrow. Or do you have to be? Is it like an active thing?
No, it's just you define the things you want to do. Your attack in the defense sequence. Then you then the battle stays open, and some other can say, okay, I joined the battle. Selects their attack and defense sequence, and then these both are matched. Nice. Because I thought some live stuff I discussed with the Hyde Park Ninjas, because hey, it's like a ninja fight you can just jump or do something in live, but then you need the players online at the same time.
And it's very difficult with lag and stuff like that.
Yes, no. So this is you set it up. Now this is the fight I created, and it's waiting for another player. And then when the player was there, I hope this is one. Now you see here it was against Sig Ranches. You see the selected block explorers. You see the levels, the stats. In green is the booster selected, so Sig Ranches selected strength, and I selected vitality, and then we go from round to round. Player 1 attack down, player 1 defense up, and all this you can imagine a bit graphic and little block explorers maybe jumping and banging with hammers on the heads of each others or doing kicks or something like this. Just a few animations, and then at the end you see, okay, it was in round 21, player 1 had 79 life left, 979 energy left. Did an attack of 6, and with this delivered enough to get player 2's life points below 0, and then player 2 is dead and player 1 won the battle. And then the upicks are
R.I.P.
distributed. So if you put 1,000 in, you get 1,900 upicks as the winner. The loser gets nothing, and the developer gets his 5%.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Net.
this is all about it. I'm set it up events like the regeneration of life and energy to be a bit faster, because your block explorer, if you reach life points of 0, you just need to wait to get them back up. You can join a fight with only 10 health points, but then the possibility to lose is high, because the other one maybe had a full life. And yeah, this is a bit back in my to-do lists or Trello boards or whatever the roadmap or whatever you would call it, because my Upland is my digital baby at the moment.
Yes. All right. I've just got one last question to ask about that before we move on. When you're initiating a match, or when your match gets accepted, or when the match finishes, do you get a notification within the app, or is it an email notification, or do you have to keep checking in?
Also if you create a tournament, it's called the tournament API from Upland, so it's a tournament between the two players. You get the message in game that you have to accept, and you get the in-game message when the tournament is resolved. Resolved could be you had an opponent and there was a fight, or the tournament didn't get a second player within 24 hours. The maximum tournament settings are 72 hours, I think, but I said 24 hours is enough. Then you get your full upix you staked back. The tournament is resolved. And all this is in the messages in game. There are no emails or something like that. I could enable it, and it's one code, one line of code to add to just spamming emails around. But hey, I don't want any more emails.
It'll just get blocked. Exactly.
Yeah, like I have with Outlook.com and something. Sometimes people try to register and use Outlook or live email addresses, and the emails don't get delivered. They leave my email server, but don't get delivered to the user because are blocked by Microsoft or some other providers. It's so I said,
frustrating.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in an exchange with one of the Upland developers about maybe a switch of all this sign in and authentication methods that you don't need emails, but there is some Upland voodoo possible to hop from the dev shop that you are locked. I didn't understand it to the end. So it's this. You need to register. You get an email and password, and with this you have to log in before you can use it. There are. I've thousands of registrations in the game, but most of them it's clear are from some security breaches somewhere where someone just dumped many accounts to my site, and all these are not connected to Upland, so are useless. Just
that's annoying.
Just sitting in the database for nothing.
Frustrating. All right. Well, we've got about 20 more minutes left, so we'll dive on into your other site. I guess that's probably where people would know you the best from. Are you able to pull that up on your side too? Yes, and note the red lettering at the top there.
Yeah, issues connecting to Upland's API. Currently, I think I did a bit too much crawling at Upland's site. So some of my crawling scripts are just blocked because they did too many requests. I'm just talking with them, and I'm figuring out the stuff so that the functions will come back up, or will get online back one after another to not run again in this wall. I know now where the threshold is, and I just need to stay below it.
Yes.
Too
It's
many
one of those
informations
things,
from
eh?
Upland I want to gather to just make readable or usable for the players.
Yeah.
So I need to select now and just push it. I'm also in the exchange with Upland developers because they have the same problem
Nice.
sometimes.
Yeah.
So there's an exchange between us, and he said, "Hey, we are doing it this and this way," and so I said, "Hey, yeah, that's a good idea." So I'm unfortunately again running after Upland's API and resettling my back end back to work again. So it's
Yes. But that's nice
sometimes
to hear that
frustrating. Yeah.
the UPX land. Yeah, it's nice to hear that the UPX land and like teams like that are open to the idea of helping you out, like if you have questions and that sort of thing. So that's good to hear.
Yeah, the development community is wide open. So you can talk, you can ask. Maybe you don't get an answer because it's under their disclosure to not talk about some businesses they are doing. That's okay for me. There's an exchange. There was the a developer Discord, an exclusive developer Discord. Now it's part of the normal Upland Discord, and it's most of my conversation is the direct DMs with some of the other ones.
Nice.
Yeah. And a boost of my career was my time when the Upland construction company was big in business. You did some deals.
Yes.
Too. There's
quite a few.
40 millions. I don't know what the number was in there. So big deals, many houses. And this was just boosting my personal interest in all this stuff because we had this Discord bot who does all this building stuff. But this need to be maintained too. And I said, hey, I don't want Discord. Maybe I can a website. So I built some tools around it. And all this is in some places in my Upland, you see where they come from.
Well, what are some of the main features there? Like, what are you finding that people that go over to the myupland.info site, what are they mostly looking to do?
The most thing people are taking are these asset listing in all shops. There was a discussion this morning in the general again. This is in the background. A script from me is crawling every meta venture and getting all stuff that is listed there and then put it together by shop type. And these are the pages with the most hits. Because people use it to search, to check prices, what is an Explorer for sale, or cars, maybe 2022 Series 1. Okay, was it 2023?
Yeah, that can be frustrating. You've got to have the exact spelling.
Yeah. Okay, it is nicht. It is MV Motors.
MV, Motors.
Okay, and then there is. This is going reworked too. All this filter stuff or something like that. But I can see. Okay, we have here the MV Motor Series 1E. You can sort it by the price. If you are interested in the mint number or the total mint counts, you can select by city or if it's APIX or USD. And here the first filters are in. So you can say, okay, I'm not going to spend USD for it. So only list me the APIX. I see there are 2 currently discovered by my script, which is just catching up the last hour after getting unbanned from their server from the crawling. So it's I know many people who say, okay, I take this to look where to price my assets at when I want to sell them, or if the price is fair, I get called by someone. Some people are saying, okay, I'm currently drifting in Washington has no. Maybe I'm currently in Oakland. So let's take a look what cars are currently in sale for Oakland. Maybe there's a deal I can take, and so here
taking just by price. Or...
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. And this
Yeah,
is
that's handy.
this is one of the most used parts. It's all the stuff around meta ventures. You have a list of all meta ventures. It takes a bit to load. These are all meta
Yep.
venture or dev shops or monuments of 4,400 dots around the world.
Wow. Yes. Yes.
And then you can see when they were created or added. But there's sometimes some inconsistency in the data. So it could be that sometimes this isn't the date when it was added. It is the date when you applied. So they on their back end they need. I think, I don't know. I think maybe they just need to switch some lever to say, hey, okay, go online, boop, and then it's displayed on the map, and maybe it's staying in their database for a few days or weeks. So this is not so correct, this date. But as I said, there's all this meta venture stuff. And then if you have the data and it's loading, you get this nice little.
Oh, very good.
Where you can take a look. It's starting in Los Angeles. When I developed this, my center was Los Angeles with all this hunting web, and my both meta ventures, Block Explorer and Football Edits were in Los Angeles. So it's just the starting region, but you can just join or go away.
Very good.
And the second big part is all about racing. I'm involved in racing, the Upland Racing League. I participate since the first test season, racing against the others, see the the development of racing at some players, which are getting better and better. And I think, I can't catch up, because they are doing training sessions every day for hours to just squeeze the last digit on the time clock to get it's like here the Matsuda R, Sen Mahoney, Wisey, Wanderer 1976, and all these guys which are in the leaderboards and the top positions are mostly there because they are good in racing. There are some people who are there because they are good in arranging battles or racing, but there are real racers there too. So it's some functions of racing. Like here, some statistics about my own racetrack. I created a consortium with all the owners. I just wrote to most of them who have properties on my track and said, hey, if you build buildings on it and we get it, I will distribute all the earnings I get from races on my track based on the percentage of your spark hours contributed to the track. So if I take this, you see here, okay, Beulemann, these are my own spark hours. So I put 104,800 spark hours in all the buildings. So I get 56% of all earnings plus the 13% for the non-consortium members who don't respond or are interested in it.
Yep.
And so I distribute and say, hey, build your homes. And it's like I think it was this suite here was by Agrid DNS. Who said, okay, hey, I'm putting many buildings here to get a nice looking part of the track. And so he just earns himself 16% from the monthly earnings I get from this. Then some statistics here.
That system you've done there, that's just one that you've customized just for your track. Like, that's not available to everyone to punch in their speedway data and get a map like that, right?
You're sounding like Maschef and Deck. They ask exactly the same. If it's possible to just put something in it to register your own track, and as it was implemented first, it was solely based on my track. So it's not.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of work.
Not customizable. But on the back end, I started, and it's on the roadmap, but no fixed date to just enable some more tracks to get visible or do something like this. If you want to do a consortium, most players or most track owners are just interested in a long list with all the properties, and if they are for sale or not, to just get them. Some are saying, hey, okay, we want to develop something cool. I think if I do something here for Midtown Terrace, there will be many blue ones because it's all belongs to you nearly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, it's I started development and then I stopped and I said, okay, there's some other features I'm getting faster done and enable some more functionality. So it's currently just only this prototype. But I started developing it for other players too.
Nice.
Then you have
All
car
right.
details, and another
All of
big
the
one.
stats.
You have all the stats of the cars. Not all, because something like this MPS, this racing score, isn't detectable via API call. You can
Yep.
only see it if you open the car with your account. I mean, you could send me all your passwords and usernames, and I can discover them. So these are these are just put in the script and hard coded. So that's not all, but if you see it's Upland card, we know all cards have the same stats, so you can just say, okay, all other cards will take 80 MPS here too.
Nice. All right.
Some are missing, and there if you the next problem, because it's not mobile optimized, that the table is wider than the page.
Yes.
There are these other things to compare cars with speed. You have the fastest the fastest car in Upland is the Genesis car, and then the FIFA, then this special cars, then the stock cars. But you can, if you compare the data, these 1 or 2 points of speed, if you are a good racer, you are able to beat them, even if they are 2 points. I don't know what these consumables will affect racing. We will see.
Yep.
I'm not going to. I bought 2 packs for Apex because hey, it was an Apex sale, so I don't need to invest fresh money, but just to get them and just take a look. Many things I bought are just to discover how the things work, to think about what can I get from it and put on my page. So maybe
tinker
I will just
around with.
Just take them out. And then you have.
All right, mate. I think we might have to leave it there because I'm just very conscious of the time. You got to get going. I think we've barely scratched the surface there, so it's probably primed for a part 2 once you get some of those extra few bits and pieces sorted out. Now we did put the call out for questions for you from the community. So I could probably squeeze you for maybe another 10 minutes. So we'll see if we can rip through those, hey?
Because maybe we can deliver the answers only. Can write a few sentences to just put them on Discord or something to say, hey, your question was not just read and forgot, but maybe I can answer them afterwards. Not live here, but then in a question.
Well, there's a couple there. I mean, it's up to you. If you wanted to dive into more here and do the rest on the back end, it's up to you. It's your show.
I would say we do 1, 2, or 3 of the questions live.
Okay,
it's okay, and maybe announce now, announce later. My Upland info will get reworked, there will be enough stuff for maybe a round 2 of our round here. And just talk about what's then looking and what for features are coming, which aren't visible yet, but in the pipeline and all this stuff.
All right, that sounds good, mate. We'll do that. Hey, so I'll just pull that up because there's a few here that are pretty similar. So we've got questions here from Elslack, Woinasa, Juan 1 no, how do you say that? Juan 1 Man 1 and Wolf Warner, pretty much all of a similar theme. Basically, all asking, how do you get started with being able to read the EOS blockchain, or pulling APIs and being able to translate that in the way that you do? Is there any courses, tutorials, that sort of thing? That's pretty much the vibe of the
it's just like I did. I just Blocks.io was my friend, or is my friend in the most parts, where I just check all these accounts and discover nice things, even if every transaction Upland related is getting automatically import in my database. I'm just there and just clicking around and this looks interesting and this and that. So you just need to go to there, check your own EOS account, and then I experimented too. I put a property for sale for a ridiculous price to not got it sniped because it was too cheap, and just take a look at the blockchain. What happened when the sale was approved, the transaction was approved? Then I go a bit back in my history and said, okay, I'm sold yesterday something, so I just take a look how this sale process works, ownership change of the NFTs. And this is from step to step. I'm not a blockchain expert or something like this, so just learned it from scratch. A big pool, I just jumped in and tried to get what I need.
So baby steps, perhaps. Yeah.
Many baby steps. Yeah, that's like Upland doing. Yeah? So just take a look and do it. And you just need to understand what's behind these transactions, and it's worse to track them or to do something more with it, or just say, okay, it's there and it's good for it. It's like all this rent collection transactions. I don't pay attention to it. If my crawler detects one, it just takes the next one, because these were ridiculous amounts of data to store somewhere.
Yeah. Did you find any tutorials online with YouTube or anything like that?
No. I didn't search for it. I just said, okay, here's my problem, and now I'm going to dive into it. The last 2 weeks, I experimented a bit with ChatGPT in just helping me designing some database queries or optimizing databases. So I just said, hey, I have this database. What would you say to optimize it? And did a bit of coding for me, and it's ridiculous what's possible. So I think I could have ChatGPT program all the stuff I did. If you don't know how to ask, then you get the right answer.
Yeah.
So this will change many jobs if this is in the mainstream.
Yeah. I keep saying that to my coworkers as well. I keep telling them, it's not about what it can do. It's about what you can learn to ask it to do. That's the big point that you need to learn. Yes.
My first education after school, everyone said, hey, you need to know that it's in this book and that book, and you need to know this information. I always said, no, I don't know. I don't need to know where it is. I only need to know how to search Google or some of the other search engines to get the information. And this is like now, if you know what you want to ask, or if you really know how to ask the AI, you get the answer you want. Just
absolutely.
double check, because some of the scripts I got
you got to check. Yeah. It reminds me, like when I was doing my science degrees, we had to cram and remember all of these taxonomic names. I said to my lecturer, like, who does this? If you don't know the name of it, you look it up in the book. Why do we need to memorize these? So that's very much old school thinking nowadays. All right. I'll post all of the questions that were asked. I'll post them in the MBA server somewhere, and Beulemann will run through and put some answers in when he has some time. Now I will do the giveaways here. I'll probably let you bounce out because I know you got to go, but I'll just give you a quick have a look at what we got going on there, which is this one. So everyone's going to have to look at my stupid face spin around. So all of the names on here are the ones who submitted a question for Beulemann. Like I said, he will answer them in the MBA server. I'm going to give 5,000 UPX to everybody who submitted one. And I'm going to roll this wheel 5 times to give away prizes. Now, before I let you get out of here, and then I'll roll that on the back end, you did say you were going to offer some extra prizes as well.
Yeah. I hope to be able to show some sneak peeks at the new myupland.info, which is get reworked in the back end, only by me. If I think it was in a Totems channel, we love the work you and your team do, and I think, okay, no, I can here clap on my own shoulders because I am my team. So it takes a bit time, and we live every time comes first. Maybe it will get the big bags. But I said I will give everyone who's on the list who submitted the question. I'm going to answer, as Ben said, then in text form. or with a few screenshots or something like this from my database if there are some concrete stats to show or something like this. When the new myupland.info will launch, you need to register there and connect your Upland account via the third-party apps to get your personal data. I will give everyone the first month of my Upland Info Premium for free. Currently,
Awesome.
I'm not going to sell the premium for real cash. So it's like the two features I already had for premium, this totem feeding schedule and the gamified earnings overview.
Yes.
So it will be this all the basic informations will still remain free, but if you want something put together from different sources on overview about and maybe your Spark history when you get what Spark and when your building's finished and all this nice to know stuff you can discover in the basic features, but it's easier to just click and see your overview. This will be some of the features, and I will give everyone who submitted a question the first month free.
Awesome,
you
mate.
too, Ben, you are not on the list, but you get the first one free too.
Yes.
And I will just not I launch and then you have 30 days to use it. We will then get in contact and I say, okay, now we are launched and launched. Launched is next on my schedule
Launched.
here. Launched.
Yes.
I would say,
All
okay, when you want your 3 months to go, and then we will arrange something.
All right. Very much appreciated, mate. And I very much appreciate your time. Like I said, I have been wanting to get you on for a long time. Like I said before, I think we've barely scratched the surface. And you mentioned totems there, and we didn't even touch on that and all of the stuff you've got that. So maybe when we get the announcement of the next totem series, I might get you on for a part 2 and we can dive into that whole situation a bit deeper and see what you've got going on.
Totems from the blockchain view or something like this. Huh?
There you go. Yeah. All right, mate. I'll let you go and I'll roll the wheel and I'll chat to you within the NBA server. Thank you so much for your time, mate.
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity.
No worries, mate. Right. So we'll let you jump out of that and we shall. No, I don't want to ban you. I'll kick you. Bye, mate.
Bye.
See you, mate. All right, so how about that, hey? He's a bit of a smart cookie, the old Beulemann, and think all of the stuff he's got going on with all of the hobby soccer stuff, kids and whatnot, and, a fairly full-on job by the sounds of it, and he still makes time to do all the stuff that he's doing in the metaverse, mostly to support the community. And, of course, he's learning skills, building experience, and this, that, and the other thing as well. So, yes, let's move on and give those prizes away, shall we? So once again, this is for all of the people that submitted questions for Beulemann. First prize is going to be 25,000 UPX, and that's going to go to my stupid head spinning around. That's going to go to Laban's got it. Man, finding me out. So congratulations, Laban, 25,000 UPX on the way for you. I think you won some UPX last night too, didn't you? I think you definitely did within the quips. All right, let's see who's going to win the next one. This is 15,000 UPX after fees. And that goes to Woinasa's got that one. Just missed out El Slack. Or was it? No, Woinasa. Thank you, mate. 15,000 UPX on the way for you. Next up, 10,000 UPX. After fees goes to Hot Corner. Should be shuffling these. You never shuffle it. All right, let's do a shuffle. So the next one, this is going to be Samurai Aquatics and Decor Love Heart Jacuzzi. As you can hear, my voice is barely hanging in there. 6 week 6. Congratulations, buddy. Love Heart Jacuzzi on the way for you. And one more, Samurai Aquatics and Decor Red Garden Bridge. That one goes to... Fawn has just missed it. The Volga updater himself, El Slack, has taken that one. El Slack, congratulations. Thank you, mate. All right, let me get out of there, and I'll just say, yes, thank you once again to Beulemann for jumping in. As I said, we barely scratch the surface of everything that he's got going on with his website and all that he's playing around with. Definitely looking to get him back on at some stage. Apologies, we didn't get time to answer some of those questions that came through, but they will be answered by Beulemann when he can. I'll probably open up a special channel just for that. So maybe he can pop in from time to time as well. So if you have any follow-up questions or something like that, or if you didn't get a question in as part of that first submission, you might be able to jump on in. Links to everything that we covered in the show, of course, will be in the description. And with all that being said, I shall catch you later.
If you have an Upland NFT or Metaverse product, service, or event to promote, or you're just someone engaged in Web3 who'd like to have a chat, send me, Ben68, a DM on Discord, or drop a YouTube comment to discuss and secure your spot.